Hello, this is Lila Chivers.
And Izzy Basquette here to commentate the FMS varsity football game against the Hickman County Bulldogs on September 8th, 2016.
It is a beautiful day here in Fairview, Tennessee, and the Falcons are ready to play some football.
Spencer, you're still out of focus.
So, Izzy, how long have you been a cheerleader for the Yellow Jackets?
I have been a Yellow Jacket cheerleader for 2 years now.
So, not very sure how good the Hickman County Bulldogs are, but they seem to be ready to come aggressively.
You know what? I think the Fairview Falcons are going to take that win tonight.
That's a good mindset. Okay, so we've got it they have it at about the 20-yard line, and okay, let's see if they've got any tricky moves for us. Okay, we have a handoff, and it seems like the Falcons have got it, tackled them pretty early.
I want the ball in the center of your camera.
Talk about number 1, Logan Parsons for the Falcons.
Can you not see it?
So, Izzy, with the 8th graders playing, who do you think is going to be a really big asset to the high school team when they get up here?
From what I know so far, I know most of the 8th graders are probably going to start out doing football their freshman year, and I think Joey Mathis and Whit Chivers are going to be pretty good.
Is it something?
I would agree.
Also, Spencer, I want you to zoom out just a little bit. JC's just.
So it seems like we have another handoff and broke right through the middle, but Falcons got him tackled again.
Number 28, Matthew Cogan for the Bulldogs.
Spencer, you got
Number 1, Logan Parsons.
Sounds like Logan Parsons has a lot of tackles in the game of football, doesn't he, Izzy?
No way we can.
Yep.
We'll get you in a minute, though. Yeah.
So it seems like we're getting off to a slow start at the beginning of the game,
We couldn't get.
but Falcons are keeping it mostly on their half of the field.
I'm going over JC. JC's live.
Oh, that's almost an interception by number
12,
18.
19.
Whit Chivers.
Careful. Going to Spencer.
Whit Chivers is easy to spot on the field with those bright white cleats, isn't he?
I know what you mean. Oh, like, yeah, I watch it sometimes. JC, can you do me a favor?
So like I said, I feel that if our defense is playing up kind of high, if we can get some long passes and if anyone on their team has some hands, then we'll probably have some trouble. But if we just keep playing the way we are, I think we'll be set for this game.
Oh, the other team just made it to the 40-yard line.
I think the Falcons are going to pick it up at the 40. They had to punt it. So, Izzy, do you think you're, do you feel like you know a lot about football?
No, I don't, actually.
Okay, well, I'm in the same boat, so.
Okay, and when the ball is snapped, Spencer,
So let's see.
when the ball is snapped, and
Handoff,
follow the ball.
and he keeps going. Oh, this might be a touchdown.
Let's go, Fairview!
Wow, that was a good break. So, we don't get any tackles on that play.
Don't actually.
Riley Bennett takes it all the way for a touchdown. That was pretty impressive.
No, you're good.
I heard Riley Bennett is the star of most of the plays. He runs the ball probably more than anyone else I know.
You're live.
Do you feel like for teams to be successful, they have to have versatility in their plays and who runs them?
Move up, zoom in a little bit.
What?
Just a little bit.
Do you feel like for teams to be successful, they should have versatility in their players and who runs the ball?
Okay, Jason.
Yes, I do, because if one player gets hurt, then they need to substitute out other players.
when the ball snapped in.
So I think they are probably going for the 2-point conversion.
Okay, Spencer, you're still live. Spencer's live. JC's about to be live. JC's live.
Oh, it was a fumble, and it looks like Falcons got it. So that could have been bad because that would have been a free breakaway for the Bulldogs.
Spencer, get the guy that has the ball. Yeah, you're good. You're doing good, Jason. Actually. Spencer, zoom in on the crowd or on the team. It's real time. You're not live, so go ahead and get.
So it seems like they're breaking into huddles, and now they're coming back on the field.
Spencer, zoom in a little bit.
Okay, so Falcons have a lead early in the game, and if I'm correct, the Bulldogs are going to be receiving it on this punt.
Number 4, Riley Bennett, second
just
kick
knock
off
it.
to the Bulldogs.
Okay, and here's Riley Bennett kicking the ball.
Really quick.
So if I had to guess, they're probably going to have one of their back linemen catch it, and everyone else is going to block for them. But it really depends on if we can get to the man at time, or if that guy can
JC's live.
catch the ball right.
Okay, that looked good, Spencer. Thank you. Yeah, honestly, it was a little shaky, but
And it doesn't seem like they have a really good defensive line there covering that guy, but
stand still, stay still. Follow.
yeah, Falcons got him down pretty early at I think about the 45-yard line.
For the Bulldogs.
35-yard line.
Doing good. Okay.
Tackle by Wick Chivers and Logan Parsons.
Me?
On the kicker.
Is that a girl on the team?
I'm Jason.
What?
Live.
On the Bulldogs.
Brings up first and
I think they might have a girl on their team
the 34.
with the long hair. Blonde hair.
Spencer,
They might. That's pretty cool, actually.
what's up up there?
Yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time we've had a girl on our team was
Get a
Sydney?
little live.
What?
I forgot her last name, but Sydney I think was the last one we've had on the girls' team.
On the football team?
But only for the middle school.
I don't know. I'm getting kind of distracted by the other team's cheerleaders. So 28 seems like he's going to be running the ball quite frequently. He seems like he knows what he's doing. Number 28,
Tackle by number 4, Riley
JC's
Bennett.
live. JC, get your
Brings up another first.
Matthew Code, 28, Matthew Code. Seems like he's going to be running the ball quite frequently, and if I'm correct on what I just saw, he's probably going to be pretty good at it, so Falcons might need to cover him extra safely.
Also, when you do that, we're going to do that Sunday.
So please don't mess with it.
Okay, get the
So Izzy, what's probably the most exciting thing you've seen happen in a football game, or most memorable football game you've ever been to?
At the Page game this year, Jeffrey Perez's winning kick, I think, was probably the best thing I've ever witnessed on football.
Yep, it's definitely something like right out of a movie.
give me something. Actually,
Okay, it seems like Bulldogs have it at 46-yard line. See if Falcons can get another tackle.
give me the. Hey, Spencer, get wider. Get wider. I want the whole team. Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we can get another tackle.
I want both the teams. Sorry. I want you to follow the play, Spencer. You're live. Follow the play, Spencer. Follow the play. Great. There you go. You're doing good.
Okay, it's third down for the Bulldogs. Let's see if the Falcons can get it down. Maybe we'll get an interception and run a touchdown. Who knows? Maybe I'm a fortune teller.
Bryce Elliott is complete for the Bulldogs.
I know. It was only for a second.
Tackle by Joey Mathis and a host of Falcons.
Definitely Riley Bennett and Jerry Mathis seem like they've got the team pretty hammered down. Which Chivers has a few couple good tackles.
You're live, Spencer. You're
I think those are the three strongest players that we have on the team.
JC has. JC.
And this is like I can tell the future. We have an interception.
Interception on the play, but we'll sort the flags out, folks.
Hey. Spencer, get him. Right there, get him.
So do you prefer cheerleading for the high school games or the middle school games?
High school by far.
Spencer's live.
Why?
Be careful.
I feel like high school football games are more interesting to watch than middle school. And I feel like it's way more intense.
Probably more interesting to commentate too.
Zoom out, Spencer. Yeah. No, not all the way.
So, as I see, that interception does not count. So I'm not a fortune teller, but it is.
Follow the ref that has the ball.
Brings up automatic
You're live, Jason's live.
Is first down for the Bulldogs, right where we caught it.
Okay, Spencer, zoom all the way in. Zoom all the way in. Quick. You're not live. Give me the shot of the football. Give me the shot.
Not sure exactly what happened on the play. I do know they called a flag, but
JC, you're going to be live.
do you know what happened?
Ball snap.
I don't.
JC is live.
Looks like we have another tackle. And I'm telling you, that boy was not easy to bring down. We had to have 3 of our players to take him down.
tackle by number 22, Logan Nardo.
28 seems to be getting a lot of plays on the field.
But if I'm right, it seems like he's limping a little bit. Maybe he got
Second and 6.
bumped up in one of the tackles.
Get the red team huddling.
And like I said about the players on the Falcons team who I feel like are going to be pretty good assets for the high school team, Logan Nardozi, if I'm correct, his brother Brendan plays for the high school, and
Okay, Spencer, just
besides his injury, he's a pretty talented athlete, and Logan will probably
a little bit further out.
keep up the Nardozi reputation.
I agree.
Number 28, Matthew Cody, carrying the ball down.
Another carry for number 28. But like I said, the Falcons.
I think that is a girl on their team.
Yes, that's
I'd like to see her run the ball.
yes.
Girl power.
Tackle by number 2, Neal.
Okay, Spencer, I want you to stay
Ginger.
Okay, out. Go.
Yeah, so again with the assets, I feel like Kyle King is another one of those football players who's going to be really big on the football team if he keeps it up. I know he plays multiple sports, very talented boy.
Follow the ball, follow the ball. Okay, knock down.
And Riley Bennett, again, they're swatting it down. It could have been an interception. I think I would have tried to catch that.
Elijah Hickman, broken up by number 4, Riley Bennett.
You know what surprises me? How small some of the middle schoolers are. I feel like as a coach, I just wouldn't keep really tiny boys on the football team, just like to protect them, because I feel like middle school, you're either average, super small, or like super big.
Huge.
Yeah.
I know the 8th graders coming up as freshmen next year are starting to work out with Coach Jackson in the mornings.
So they're probably going to have some muscles. I know
Actually, Spencer,
some of them are pretty built up. I know Riley Bennett and Joey Mathis do wrestling, and
okay.
that probably keeps them in shape
Camera 2.
throughout the off season.
Ball goes up on down,
Spencer, your
first
camera 2.
down,
Jason,
Falcons.
you're live. Camera 1 is live. Jason, your camera 1. So I'm going to start doing that. Yeah, go ahead if you want. Just make sure it's locked down. Lock it down. Get the
Okay,
ball.
Falcons have the ball. Let's see.
Okay, there you go.
If I got it, Riley Bennett's probably going to run the ball.
I'm so sorry I missed it. There you go, Jason.
But here's Logan Nardozi with the run. And great tackle by number 19, blocking. And Logan Nardozi's for the break. And it's a touchdown. Yep, let's go Falcons. I swear, he can run like lightning. That was pretty fast. He left everyone in the dust. Whoop, whoop.
Okay, I'm good. Number 2, I want you to get the ball. Number 2, get the ball. Jason, you stay where you're at. Camera 1.
Okay, it seems like they're in a huddle. If you had to guess, do you think they're taking the 2-point conversion or a field goal?
Right there.
I have no idea.
Hold it still. Going back.
They might be going for the 2-point conversion.
Actually, I'm not sure if
I'm going to stay with you, Kim.
you can punt it in middle school.
Keep going. Keep going.
Take field goals. So
Follow the ball. Follow the
you're probably gonna run it down.
Follow the ball. Kim. Follow the ball.
And we're down.
There you go, Kim.
It was a nice try, though.
Kim,
Okay, so Bulldogs have the ball, and Falcons are kicking it off again. Izzy, do you feel like the game is going to speed up, or it's going to stay about this pace throughout the whole game?
Well, it's 12-0 right now. I feel like the game will speed up a little bit eventually, but I feel like it's going to keep a steady pace.
Do you think the Bulldogs have a chance of scoring, or do you think the Falcons pretty much have it in the bag?
From what I can tell so far about how they're playing is that we have it in the bag.
How do you feel if you were coaching on the Bulldog side? What do you think you would do? Like, what advice could you give them to kind of just keep your heads in the game, don't let the scoreboard control how you play, and just kind of give all your effort?
I feel like they just need to practice more and like just keep their head in the game.
Do you feel like the Falcons need to change anything about how they're playing?
Number 7, Sam Walcott.
I think they're doing pretty good.
Return.
Can you hear me?
I agree.
How about Joey Madison?
Okay, I need you to be live, okay? Okay, well, I'm going to go talk to Scott real quick. Camera 2 is live. Spencer, don't mess it up.
Okay, so I know that you have a brother who plays for the high school. How do you think being related to someone who has is on the football team, do you know how that affects him in his life, or what he has learned from that?
I know that high school football takes up a lot of your time, and so does cheer. But I feel like it's manageable.
Yeah, I would agree. My brother, not saying middle school is any comparison to high school, but he seems to manage it well.
Matthew Cody on the carry for the Bulldogs.
For now?
Tackle by
Slowly zoom out and get both teams to do shots.
I'm coming behind you guys.
Alright, that's good.
How do you feel about the middle school cheerleaders?
Switching to camera 3.
I know some of them can bring a little bit of sass to the table, but I mean, that's always fine if you're a cheerleader. I mean, not in a bad way, but I feel like as a cheerleader, you need to show confidence in your cheers and through how you cheer for your school, because it just goes to show that you are here to perform for the crowd and keep the hype up for the game.
I agree. The other team is being very loud.
I can almost hear them through my headphones.
I like their pom-poms.
Alright, I'm going to go to JC. Spencer, stay about this close to the players if you could for the rest of the
Okay, so I feel like Whit Shivers, number 18, I think his position is there to get the ball. If one of the Bulldogs makes a break, he's there to back anyone up if they don't get their tackle. So maybe he'll get off, end of the quarter, but maybe next time he'll get off with a good tackle or be there to save him if the team falls through.
Alright, that's good, that's good.
But for now, it seems like his position is kind of
That's good.
worthless.
A little bit. Alright, Spencer, I'm coming to you.
So, Izzy, do you feel like the Falcons, people who don't get as much playing time, are going to get some playing time tonight just because of the score?
Yeah, I feel like some of the 6th graders might play a little bit.
Or do you feel like because it is a strictly varsity game, that they'll try to keep in most of the 7th, 8th graders?
Since it is 12-0 and we're winning, I feel like they might put in a couple of the JV players, because I know that's what we do when we're scoring.
Camera 3 is live. 3, 2,
Only did 1. Make sure that stays on.
That's it.
Yeah, so do you feel like the middle school takes a lot of inspiration from the high school?
Camera 1.
I do.
Camera.
In the cheers and throughout the football plays?
Yeah.
Okay, Spencer, come back to you. Camera 2 is live. Natalie players, all of them.
And about what you said earlier, I definitely do agree that middle school football is a little more
All right.
sporadic in its
Keep them in your shot.
like ups and downs and the high points of the game. When I feel like high school gradually builds up, and we always have a good,
You can.
very close fourth quarter
Do you know where Mr.
where I think we keep up most of the pep in the crowd throughout the whole game. And I feel like in the middle school, they just kind of they cheer for their individual players.
Yeah. I also feel like as a whole, not many people in middle school care about football games as much as they do high school. Because I know a bunch of the middle schoolers come to high school games. And I know, like, in the South in general, that football is a really big sport.
Find the white hat. Find the white hat.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like think the Bulldogs had a false start.
Yeah, is the one that's being recorded?
So they got back 5 yards. So Izzy, do you feel like
8 shots right now?
most sports, they don't punish you the same way they do in football? I mean, we have red cards, yellow cards in soccer, and we have technicals in basketball and fouls. But do you feel like other sports should give you yardage or like make you back up or restart, kind of have to start over?
Obviously, if you look at that's on this thing.
Kind of, but like in soccer, y'all don't have yard lines.
All right, I'm going.
Yeah, but
Good.
yeah, I understand what you're saying.
But I do feel like
You have to leave at a certain time.
you should like
Say the whole game.
maybe get points taken off. Not get like points taken off, but
And we're gonna hope
I
to
don't
get
know.
Camera 4 out there.
Kind of have to be deducted in some way. Yeah, whether from like having to back up or have to play with one less player or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Keep it
Yeah.
there.
We're about 3/4.
Okay, Spencer.
So maybe we're going to get some long throws in this,
You want to at the snap? Camera.
but if so,
hopefully.
It's a punt. Follow the ball.
I feel like some of the Falcons don't exactly know what they're doing. Heard the coaches yelling a lot, and they
I
kept
am
having to
honestly
control
with them on that one.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
You're gonna do that.
most of my focus was on the coaches yelling over and over what them to do, for what the players should do. Seems like none of them want to listen. But I mean, I feel like that's part of transitioning from middle school sport to high school sport is definitely authority to your coaches and understanding that middle school, I'm sure you could get away with a lot of stuff, but high school,
It's very different.
yeah, you definitely have to give a lot of credit and respect to your coaches because they have a lot more authority over you. Grades play in a lot more to how your playing time. And I feel like definitely in football, with so many players and not that many to play on the field at once, your grades and authority to your coach come into play a lot in how you would play and act as a person when on or off the field.
Camera 1 is live.
Is that an injured bulldog?
He's good.
Oh, and that'd be bad. That's their Matthew, number 28, who runs most of the balls. Hope he doesn't get hurt because I feel like he's the only one who can run the ball.
All right, Spencer, I'm going to get some close-up shots. Don't get the ball. Just stay close on the players and follow the ball. No, not that close. Zoom back out. Zoom back out. Make sure that you can execute.
So if I'm correct,
All right. More.
Riley Bennett's probably going to be...
All right. Spencer, come to you. Do your line. Follow the plays. Hey, slowly zoom in.
Not sure if that was a fumble or not. I don't think it is.
Sounds good. Keep zooming in.
But that would have been close because just like that, everything you've worked for can be over. I know in football, definitely somewhat a fast-paced game, but
It is speeding up quite a bit. It's getting more intense as we
yeah,
speak.
Bulldogs are speeding up their playing and getting their heads in the game.
Get both of the teams in your shot. Okay, Spencer, I'm coming to you. Spencer, you're live. Alright, JC, if you could move it.
Timeout Bulldogs. Do you feel like timeouts are beneficial to the team and how they play, or do you feel like that's just kind of a waste of time and some coaches take advantage of it to like stall the time or stall the clock?
I feel like it could be an advantage, and I do feel like some coaches do abuse that power, but I feel like it's overall a good thing because like they run over plays and stuff.
Okay.
If I'm saying this right, the coaches on the Bulldogs team seem a little bit frustrated in their huddle, but I would too if they're playing like this. Okay, so here we go. Falcons get the ball and see if they can do anything and go with it. You have Logan Ardozi on the run. Wow, he definitely. That was plowed on.
Spencer, follow that player. Alright, Spencer, you're live. Yeah, follow the player.
And we have another touchdown. Do you think it's possible that the Bulldogs might get a touchdown by the end of the game?
JC, I'm coming back to you. Cameron, on this line.
What? Do you think it's possible that the Bulldogs might get a touchdown by the end of the game?
Alright.
Maybe.
So zoom back into the ball for the snap.
Depends on how we play.
Alright. That's good, Spencer.
If we maintain our
Closer.
hard playing, or if we kind of back off because we know we have the lead.
Alright, Spencer, I'm going to stay on that, Spencer.
Ooh, the Bulldogs seem to be getting a little rough. No pun intended.
I feel like we can get the touchdowns off, but whenever we work for a 2-point conversion, it never seems to work out for us.
Keep following them into the huddle. Spencer, if you can zoom all the way out again like last time, show both teams. Alright, that's good. Jason, that's fine for now. Alright, Spencer.
Izzy, do you think that the middle school cheerleaders are better at conveying spirit in the games, or the high school cheerleaders?
High school cheerleaders by far. I'm just biased maybe, but I feel like the middle school cheerleaders need to work on being tight and spiriting after cheers, because they're pretty loud.
By tight, do you mean like closer as a family, or is that a cheerleading?
No, like they need to have like sharper motions.
Camera 2.
And I know that some girls in middle school are very drama friendly.
I know you
Create a lot of drama.
In high school, that's not promoted as much.
Zoom out as much as you can. Not as much as you can. Zoom out. Yeah,
Or do you feel like it's the same?
he's going to kick the ball. Follow the kicker. Okay, Spencer, stay in the ball.
I feel like it could be the same. It can be.
Alright.
Just I don't think the high school cheerleaders are as petty.
So we got an early tackle, and the Bulldogs had an early fumble on the kickoff return.
Hey, Spencer, can you zoom back into the ball, please?
We have it at they have it at the 31-yard line.
Alright, JC, switch your camera to the left a little bit. That's good. Alright, just stay on that shot.
Izzy, do you think that we'll do more subbing on the defensive line or the offensive line?
Offensive line.
Why?
Because we need to score some more touchdowns.
Do you think we need more help on the offensive
Alright, Spencer,
or defensive line?
Spencer, you're live. Stay in the ball. Alright,
That's kind of hard to say right now because the other team hasn't scored any and we've scored 2.
Yeah, and this team isn't probably the best to portray our abilities on the field.
Okay, I'm going to camera 1. Camera 1 is live.
Jack on switch.
Oh, you don't. You switched. Alright.
Izzy, do you feel like it's easier to get hurt during football more than other sports, or probably less easy because of all the protection you have while you're playing?
I do feel like it's easy to get hurt during football because you're tackling each other like wild animals. but
You take it.
I honestly feel like cheer can be more dangerous because you're throwing girls up in the air and they could land wrong, or you can not catch them, or they can fall out of a stunt and they could really hurt themselves.
I feel like any sport done right can be dangerous.
Yeah, I agree.
Number 28, Matthew Cody on the carry.
So the high school has Pewdie
Molly Bennett, Joey
Puff. A powder puff? Yeah. Oh, sorry, got my PewDiePie powder puff mixed up. Do you feel like powder puff is going to be as intense as football? Maybe because it's girls against girls, and maybe they can take out some of their rumors and drama through their playing.
Enemies, I do feel that way, and I feel like the game September 30th is going to be pretty exciting because it's homecoming.
The football or powder puff?
Like the football game.
Spencer's live. JC, you're going to be live.
Yes, I agree. But back to powder puff, I feel like that's probably almost going to be just as hype and fought over as a regular football game would. Because these girls, if I'm correct, I know I'm on the sophomore team. We have been practicing nonstop, coming up with plays.
Girls are vicious. I will say that right now.
Yes, and it's
So I feel like
It's a
they
good
will try
thing
to
we're not
take
doing
out their
tackle.
enemies. Yeah.
yeah.
Or I know some girls like to
Antagonize
scratch and pull hair.
Yeah, antagonize and point out different girls. And I know what you mean.
So we're going to get Scotland to go back.
Right now, that's Scotland and coverage. Whenever you're using your cameras, just to record some stuff. So you're getting this right. What do you want me to see?
The 150.
Alright, I'll put it up. And I'm gonna need not only 150.
So do you feel like you would be most beneficial as a football coach or football player?
Given the fact that I don't know that much about football, I would probably be better as a player because I know I'd probably just stand on the sidelines half the time.
Spencer, zoom back into the ball for the snap, please.
And I'm small and short, and I'm
All right.
kind of built strong. So, I don't know. I feel like I could play if I wanted to.
It was the battery. So
It's not my thing.
Get the ball in the center of the field. All right, just stay on that shot.
Okay, so Bulldogs had it at the 43rd
I'd rather have
yard line, and it is a third down. So see if Falcons can stop this before they get too far down the field.
Camera 2.
I think the last thing we need is a first down, because I know one thing: whenever you're losing, especially the way, you're even more motivated to
Number 1 is live. Stand.
get your play on and
All right.
beat the other team. But there we go with an interception.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do it.
He's running down to the end zone.
Interception by
I can't see that far.
I think that might be number 10 or 19.
All right, Jason. I'm sorry. Legit time.
But either way, 19, Bryce Fannin. That's not a name you hear often, is it?
I'm like really busy with Scotland.
On the football field, I feel like maybe some players have constant moments of being good, and then some have great moments sporadically. And Bryce Fannin is probably one of those players who every once in a while gets a really beautiful play.
That's good. I'm going to stay in you. All right. All right, JC, you're still live. Follow the ball.
Oh, and I think that's the second 2-point conversion that we've had, making the score 26-0. Do you think it's possible that it'll become 50-0, 55-0 by the end of the game?
Given the fact that it's only second quarter and there's 2 minutes left, I feel like that is quite possible.
If we keep up the same effort and playing that we have now. But it is quite possible that Falcons get tired and don't play to their full potential. it seems like Fairview's done more kickoffs than they have offense, but it's whatever way the game turns out. And I feel like in this situation, that's probably the better thing, not having to be on the other side of the scoreboard, the lower number.
I'm rooting for Fairview, but I feel like the Bulldogs need to step up their game and make it a little more interesting.
You got that, Spencer?
But as far as I know, the Falcons have some pretty good players, and their schedule this year is supposed to be pretty good. They're going to have some hard teams, but as far as I know, Falcons can take up any team in their district.
Okay, follow him. Spencer is here. Cam, stay on.
I feel like that's you can correlate that with the high school team too, because we're undefeated so far.
I think actually all the high school teams are undefeated except for the volleyball team.
Spencer, you're still alive.
But I feel like Fairview does have a name for itself in the athletics section. Between all schools, out of our district, in our district, I feel like Fairview is well known for being able to bring a good game to any school.
You were not doing that. Dude, you are so cool. Jackson?
Okay, so I often hear the cheerleaders saying, "Go fight, win." Do you feel like this is a hard fight for the Falcons, or maybe they're just playing really well and this is a difficult team to keep up with, or do you think they're probably performing at their minimal effort right now?
From what I can tell, I feel like they're performing at like a medium effort, because the Bulldogs don't seem to be that great. But
No need to bash, but I know the Bulldogs probably aren't the best team in the district, and all schools and all teams have that one opponent they know is probably going to be an easy game, but it's always good to keep a good mindset. 0-0, the score is always 0-0, and you should always be never quit and always play your hardest out the whole thing.
Right there. That's where I'm at. Spencer, you gotta follow the play. Spencer's live. You're live, Spencer. Follow the play. Spencer's live. Follow the play. Give him.
So that's number 28 again with the run to the inside, but I don't feel like he can get through in the middle because we do have a pretty good tight defense, and I feel like we have a very fast team on the middle school.
Spencer, if you can give me a really good shot here.
I can bet you anyone on this defensive team will probably outrun any people on their offense. And I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just telling you the statistics because I know most of these boys are very fast, and we don't have a lot of heavy-set defensive players. But, I mean, sometimes speed is better than strength.
Okay, Spencer, you're... Okay, Spencer, go.
how do you feel about the game that we're playing tomorrow?
Follow the play, Spencer. You're live. Spencer's live.
For the high school?
Yeah,
Who are we playing?
Waverly.
You're still live, Spencer.
Have they been good in the past?
One of those players.
Like, is it supposed to be a hard game?
I don't really remember that well, but I feel like since the Jackets are undefeated so far, that we will take home that W again.
And I feel like being undefeated just gives you more motivation to keep it up. But
I agree.
Waverly, as I know, is a pretty big school, and they're very fast, very tall, and they're all football players. All of them are built for football. And not trying to put any, like, ethnic stereotypes in here, but I know they probably do have a couple black people, and as I know, they're probably really fast, and I've seen them play, and I know that they're very intimidating by the way they warm up.
I definitely agree with that.
One of their players are hurt. You know what? No matter what team it is, I feel like it's always sad to see an injured player on the field. Do you feel like?
Get that player that's down. Get that player that's down.
Do you feel like it is like a prevalent issue that people fake their injuries to like get yardage or get the ball back for their team? And do you think that's a bad thing or?
I feel like it is unfair, but I feel like some of the times that it's actually serious and they actually do get hurt very badly. But from what I can tell, the player on the field that's down right now doesn't look like he's doing very well. They just took his helmet off.
You sound like you're from too.
Yeah, no way was I trying to say that he was faking it, but I know that isn't like often issue.
Yeah.
Not always in football, but in all sports.
Yeah, that's saying. I'm like 90% sure that's that is lit, right?
So it seems like it's something to do with this, like, I'm not quite sure, but this might be the kicker, and
Spencer,
like what just happened
you're from Spencer.
is he got rammed in the leg and the punt didn't go at all in the air. So I just hope he's all right because, again, not trying to be rude, but they're going to be punting it quite a lot.
Oh, there he is. That's Hawkins.
I am very proud of our fans because I hear them cheering on the other team,
Hawkins is the
because I know that having a hurt football player weakens your team a lot, especially if they're starting.
Yeah. And it's always better to be playing with a supportive crowd rather than a dirty crowd, because I know also just playing when your parents are being unfair and being unsportsmanlike, it also takes it down on the players, and they start thinking like that with that mindset, and that's not always the best thing for a football player.
I agree.
And what just happened on the football field? It feels like
I think the Falcons just got another touchdown.
Yeah, when I looked, I couldn't even see who had the ball, and I'm pretty sure the Bulldogs didn't know either. So that was a very good undercover, if you say, handoff.
I agree. He came out of nowhere. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
Spencer, does it look like they're kicking or does it run? Oh, okay, they're gonna run it, so
I feel like the cheerleaders' cheer is kind of repetitive. We all know they're going to get another touchdown.
Spencer, you just stay there for a minute. Scoreboard's still up. Spencer, you stay there.
So let's see if we can get this 2-point conversion off. I know we've only gotten to be able to do 2 today, and that was an early clip in the play, and it seems like he got him with his helmet.
Make your
And I'm sorry, but I feel like you have enough protection everywhere, but your ankles and your calves have no protection. I feel like it must hurt so bad to get clipped in your ankle. Just even the slightest clip on a cleat or anything like that can put down on a player.
Okay,
Two-point conversion denied.
No, especially in football, your legs are extremely important. Just like all your hands, all of your muscles in your body are extremely important in football. It's not a one-limb activity. You have to have. There's so many different parts that go into a good football player, and I feel like one injury can completely tear down everything else that works. Because, like I said, if you have a hurt knee or a hurt shoulder, that can take it down on all of your muscles and probably change you as a player.
It could completely end your career also.
Yeah. Even as early as middle school, I know. Like, my brother had ACL surgery, and I know that has changed, and he cannot play as hard as he used to be. But, I mean, he's still a good starter. He still brings game to the table.
Good punt.
So number 13 with
Bulldogs
the
running
run.
the ball.
And he seems like he has some speed, but we took him
They
down.
got to the 40-yard line. Good
Yeah.
job.
He caught it, and in less than 5 seconds, he was already gaining 30 yards, which is pretty impressive for the Bulldogs because they haven't shown that much potential in the first 2 quarters. 16 seconds left. Do you think it's possible that Bulldogs are going to be able to get a touchdown or close anywhere between 10-yard line and the goal?
It all depends on our defensive line. I feel like they do have a good chance.
Jason, I really like your shots on the Jason shot. It's a good shot. Really good. It was really well framed.
With 16 seconds left in the half, the first
We
and 10
got 16 seconds left in the half.
Okay, there's 16 seconds left. Do you feel like we could get an interception and run it for a touchdown?
That might be possible because that has happened multiple times this game.
Do you feel like our strengths are on the offensive end or defensive end?
I feel like it is equal in both.
Dude, that was 5 seconds.
Number 28, Matthew
Spencer, I'm kind of
And again with that number 28, I feel like he runs every single play, and if we can just shut him down, then I feel like we have this game. Definitely. And they have another injured player, but
can't exactly say.
that's besides the point, because I feel like Fairview is, well, they're maintaining their effort throughout the whole game, and they're not giving up, even though they're winning by 32 points.
JC, center up the whole shot a little bit more.
Do you feel like you should play your hardest throughout the whole game, no matter what the score is, even if you're winning, even if it's a shutout? Do you feel like you shouldn't like give up and let the players kind of catch up?
I do feel like that because that happened last year, actually. During one of the high school football games, we were winning. I forget the score, but it was pretty close. And our football team kind of just gave up, and then the other team ended up winning and scoring on us.
Yeah,
Which I know is a really big letdown for all the
and I know
fans.
for other sports like soccer recently we've been playing scrimmaging, and sometimes for soccer, like anything over like 2 points within each other is pretty good space between goals. Like you pretty much know you have the game controlled, and
Need at least one of you to run back.
it only takes like
So Spencer, you need to
30 seconds or even 3 seconds at least to like keep your guard down for a moment, and the game's tied up.
I need to
It's not hard to lose control of the scoreboard
Not at all.
in any sport, I feel like.
JC, you're live. So don't stop
But
doing that.
they seem to stay focused, and they're not here to make it a fair game.
You're not live.
Almost an interception.
That here.
If we had a little bit more communication on the field, and it seems like number
Elijah Tibble's pass is broken up by
Number 8 on the Bulldogs, he getting pretty frustrated, and I would too if I was playing for the Bulldogs. What do you think as a player you would do to motivate your team right now if you're on the Bulldog side?
I would just give them a little pep talk, maybe.
Actually, Spencer, give me the
Try to just get them pumped up.
Do you think right now they probably need like far passes running the ball, or do you think they should just keep up with what they're doing?
I think they're fine with what they're doing, but it would be interesting to see some long passes and some cool plays.
Anything that highlights their performance on the field. I feel like what they're doing now, only player that's really standing out is number 28, and I feel like that's not because of his ability to play football, but
Okay, Spencer, I'm coming to you.
it's just
You got him.
his potential on the field. I feel like they give it to him because he's a dependable player, but maybe there's like a hidden player on the team that they don't know about.
So Jack sucks.
But like I said, Fairview has defensive end pretty covered. They get early tackle and it's 4th down, so
And it is
it's
halftime.
We'll be back for the 3rd quarter. Okay, so we're back. Izzy, do you feel like there's going to be any change in effort or playing time in the second half?
I don't.
So do you notice any changes on the field? And I've been noticing, why is number 99's jersey different from anyone else's? He looks like he's in high school compared to all of the other players.
I'm not really sure. That would probably be something you want to ask the coach. It's probably because he's a lot bigger than everyone else.
So his jersey is different.
Or he might be on JV and he's playing varsity.
Which would be surprising because he seems like he's the biggest player on the field.
Yeah. He might be a 6th grader because I know some 6th graders that are at the middle school who are huge.
number 1, Logan. Tease it up.
Do you think the Bulldogs are gonna come back and score some
definitely
points?
not. I feel like we definitely have this win. But I just hope the players don't think that. They need to play no matter what. They don't need to give up. I feel like that happens a lot with players. I think they got it in the bag and then it comes back in the last like couple of minutes. As long as we stay humble and play hard, I feel like we got it. And there we go. Kyle King with
We got
touchdown.
another touchdown. Doesn't surprise me at all, to be honest.
And I feel like we're going to see that not at all in this half. I feel like that was probably going to be one of our only offensive plays unless we get an interception, touchdown, anything like that. But I feel like it's very minimal that we're going to get minimal playing time on offense because we're going to we're gonna constantly defense, get the ball, touchdown, kickoff, defense, just on a continuous loop. I feel like it's gonna be repetitive throughout the whole game. And maybe because of that, some JV players might get some playing time.
I agree, which is what we were saying at the beginning of the game.
Let's see if we can get anything off this 2-point conversion. You know who I'd like to see to run the ball? Who's not out there right now? Whit Chivers. He seems like he didn't run that ball that much.
All right, JC, you're live.
Well, I mean, he did tear his ACL and he got surgery, right?
But I mean, he's been playing it every other special team they have. I don't know. I guess I'm just biased because he's my little brother.
I guess I am biased too because y'all are my neighbors.
And we live on blah blah blah. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't say that. That's private information. So yeah, I don't know much about football, but seems like I feel like the Bulldogs aren't as organized and prepared as the Falcons are. Maybe their coaches don't have that much experience, because I know our coaches are very experienced. Like, we have some military veterans, some people who have been doing this almost their whole life, but I feel like in some way the Bulldogs seem a little unorganized on the field.
I agree. Going back to what you said about our coaches, I do feel like we have an advantage because most of them do know what they're doing, and I know Coach Billingsley has been coaching for a while now.
Spencer? Oh, wow. All right, Spencer, I'm on you. All right. And JC is live.
So let's see if we can get a touch and right out of bounds. I'm not exactly sure whose ball that is, and there's a flag on the play.
Before you leave. All right, JC, you're live. Just kind of stay live, follow the players.
Not exactly sure what the call is, but I'm sure we'll be getting that in a moment.
Come up and give you a break. So just kind of stay.
So we have a substitution. Bryce Fannin for someone else. But you know what, I feel like a substitution is a very positive thing when you're winning by this much. I think it's good to give some starters a break and kind of see what they're working with. And it's a good opportunity for some of the people, because, I mean, our starting lineup for varsity is full of 8th graders, and I think it's a good thing for some 7th graders and 6th graders to kind of get on the field and see what it's like, get a taste of varsity, because, I mean, they're going to be the team next year.
I agree, and it's a good chance for the JV players to get a taste of what it's like to play on the field, like you said.
All right, Spencer, I'm back to you. Spencer, you're live. See that a little bit more? All right.
I do like our jerseys.
But the weird thing is, those are the mess ups from the high school.
Yeah.
All right.
But I feel like they do look pretty cool, in my opinion.
And we
With,
have
like,
another
the-
early tackle.
With the red underneath the black jerseys, I feel like that stands out pretty cool.
Yeah, stands out pretty well. I think if we just play consistently like this, I feel like it'll definitely be a good game. No need for like experts to like conduct. As long as we don't get a little bit too cocky, because I feel like when we do that, we start playing. I don't want to say too well, but we start like being too confident.
Yeah.
With the ball and stuff.
And then we don't play as well because we already know that we have it in the bag.
Yeah,
basically.
and I feel like this happens for all sports, but whenever you feel like you're playing an easy team, everyone feels like that's their time to shine, and I feel like we just have to keep playing as a team because they're doing a perfect job of staying humble and getting the ball down.
I agree.
Number 58,
Izzy, out of all these players, who do you think is going to improve the much by their senior year? Do you feel like any of them probably don't stand out that much now, but you can feel like they're going to get a lot of playing time, or something they're going to go through something that's going to change their playing abilities?
I feel like most of the starting varsity that played this game, they're going to improve a lot by their senior year, and they're probably going to play very well.
Could you imagine any of them dropping off football?
I could see it. After a while, I do feel like football gets kind of boring because it's repetitive. But I don't know. You kind of like, it's either you love it or you hate it. There's no really in between.
Yeah, and like you said, loving or hating, I feel like that's the same thing with being on the sideline. You either love it and get so into it, you're there to either... I feel like when you're a parent, from a parent's point of view, you either love the game, so you're there to watch it. You either love your kid, so you're there to watch your kid, or you don't like it, so you don't come to the games. But I feel like when it comes to, like, if you're not related to any of the players and you're just there to watch your team and cheer them on, I feel like you obviously love it.
Well, I knew it hadn't done that, and I was just using that really exactly.
Back by number 1, Logan Parsons.
And they're subbing in a lot of players.
They're probably putting in most of their JV.
Yeah, they completely changed their whole line. But do you feel like that's good? Do you feel like it's more effective to sub in like players like individually or like a whole line at the same time?
I feel like it just depends on who all is playing at the time. And like what the score is, because right now it's 38-0, so I feel like it is beneficial if we put our JV in so they can get playing time on the varsity team.
So do you feel like when we put the JV in, we should keep a couple varsity, or like keep the whole JV in because they're going to be playing with each other in the future?
I feel like we should put a couple varsity players in there because varsity really knows what they're doing, and JV, like, they know what they're doing, but they're not like at their fullest potential that they can be at yet.
Yeah, Jacob Derrick isn't a name he's here often, but he's definitely improved a lot this year, and I think he is a good, solid player. Very dependable on the field, as far as I know, and how he shows through his playing that he loves the sport and that he's just happy to be out there, but he also does bring an aggressive side to the team.
I agree. Do you think that the Bulldogs are going to score at all by the end of this game?
I think it's definitely a possibility. As long as I think it's completely no question asked at all that there will be no scoring on their side of the field. If we do let the score get to us and we do kind of become overconfident and stop playing like a team, but if we keep playing like this, I feel like there's no chance that they're going to get a score.
I agree. Our defensive line's pretty good. Like, they're
solid.
Yeah, they're holding the other team back.
But you know, I've noticed we've had one touchdown this half, which is definitely less than we had last half. By the second quarter, I think we had probably 3 touchdowns. And we only have 2 minutes left, so we'd have to have some improvement to keep up the stats. But I'm not arguing about a 38-point lead.
I'm not either.
So I'll start on Bulldogs.
All right, yeah, get one. Just follow the players. That's fine. I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Shout. That's very loud.
Scotland is locked. You're live.
Izzy, do you feel like when you're winning by this much, do you think it's more beneficial to kind of move players around and kind of
Test out different spots?
Yeah, do you think it's more beneficial to kind of switch players around, see what they're capable of in different positions that they wouldn't normally play in? Or is it more beneficial for you to play players that wouldn't normally play?
I feel like both could be beneficial, but I feel like we should put in players that don't normally get to play during a game, because I feel like if you put a different player who plays a center for a linebacker, they're not going to know what to do.
So what I see about your question earlier is the Bulldogs can come back, but now I'd like to change my answer. I feel like it's important when you're losing to keep your head in the game and not completely lose focus and like give up, because I've seen plenty of games where teams have become overconfident, but the winning teams give all their effort and they might still not come back, but they do increase the score and they do come back. in some of them. And I feel like if the Bulldogs start playing like they were at the beginning of the game, before
They let the score get in their head.
yeah, I feel like they would have a chance of coming back. But so far, I feel like 0 is going to be their score the whole time. And if they do let the frustration get to them and they start getting aggressive and unsportsmanlike in the field, I feel like that's definitely going to work to our advantage.
2-point conversion is 9, number 58. DJ Love to score.
Okay, that's the end of the third quarter. Izzy, do you feel like there's going to be anything different in the fourth quarter?
Honestly, no. I feel like the Bulldogs have given up, and they've not lost all hope, but they have for this game. Not their season entirely, but I just feel like they could have brought it a little bit more and not let the score get in their head like we've been saying.
Yeah, and if they would have kept playing and not given up by the end of the second quarter, I definitely feel like this game would still be winnable or approachable to that.
I
But now
agree.
that it's 44-0 and they've definitely
And
let
it's
the
fourth
score get in
quarter.
their head. Yeah, and they've let the
They
score
have no
get in their
chance
head.
of winning.
Yeah, I mean they can make a comeback, which is
There's no way
highly
they can
unlikely.
get 44 points in 8 minutes. Unless they're really, really good, which from what I can tell from this game that they're not that good. No hate, but I just feel like they can bring it more.
Yeah.
Fairview for the kickoff.
No, that's good. That's good. Thank you. No, stay wide and get the
Wow, that was tricky.
Wasn't very much of a kickoff to me.
Yeah, that was kind of just like a stab at the ball, but whatever works. And
At least they tried.
yeah.
They're not the same.
And I don't know anything about football. Maybe that was a good play, a good switch up. But as far as I can see, I don't think it worked.
They didn't
like it was
get very
supposed to.
far.
Yeah. But maybe,
I don't know that much about
maybe it was
football
supposed to be like that, and the Bulldogs weren't supposed to get to it. But who knows? Probably anyone else would know besides us. But
I know, this is
okay, so I think I can tell there are a lot of different players in who start the game. Do you think it's good for the JV team when they sub in JV players? Is it good for them to keep a mindset, be confident, try to keep up the same playing? Or do you think it's good for them to just keep, a 0-0 score in their head and say, okay, it's different. I need to play different. I need to stand out.
I do feel like that, but I also feel like since
Oh my
we were
gosh.
wrong.
Spencer, I think your focus is in
Bulldogs
He is
get
a
a touchdown.
brick wall. I feel like no one could take him down. We had so many tackling chances, but sometimes you just get the big guys, and they're hard to take down, definitely.
I agree. I was gonna say that since the Bulldogs were losing, that they probably put in their JV too, if they even brought them. But I don't think they did
Yeah,
because their team is
small field,
really small.
small team, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Maybe they did. Maybe their JV is better than their varsity. Who knows?
Yeah, I definitely like 44-0 better than 44-6. But anything where you're winning by that much,
Yeah,
anything,
I agree.
Yeah, anything works.
Hold on, I gotta look at this. Spencer, you're live. Jack, act like your camera. Just go back.
I think they're going for a 2-point conversion, if I'm right.
Zoom out. Spencer. Jack, your camera's out of focus. There you go, better. Here's Jack, actually, here's the picture. Okay, Jack, you on Spencer. Zoom in and focus again.
Okay, can you hear me fine?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I kind of knocked around the camera, microphone a little bit.
Center it up again. Center it up first. Okay, there you go.
Okay, I think they're putting in the starters again because we have 28 Joey Mathis, 21 Jacob Derrick, we have number 10 Bryson Fannin, number 4 Riley Bennett, number 22 Logan Ardozzi, number 18 Whit Chippers, which to me are all the starters.
Yeah, I think those are most of the kids that were starting the game.
Yeah, they're strongest players. But you know who I don't see?
It's a 10, I'm pretty sure. Actually,
Oh, excuse me. It's not Brendan Nardozi. It's Kyle King, which to me has proved to be more beneficial in this game than Logan. Not that he's a better player, but in this game he's definitely
brought
stood
more to
out.
the table.
Yeah.
I agree.
Not that that really matters in this game, because anyone can kind of stand out against this team.
Our players are giving the best they can.
Do you think, from a ref's point of view, do you think it's better to kind of call shots depending on who's winning, but like not exactly like, oh, they're losing, so I'm going to call the foul on them, or they're losing, so that was definitely a false start, not an accident. And like,
I don't know. I feel like some refs are biased because I know, well, like, I don't know, but
you feel like,
I feel like other teams hire refs. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I feel like it could be biased, and the other teams could be paying the refs more to like call fouls on the other teams and stuff like that.
yeah, which I feel like doesn't happen as often, but I feel like it definitely does happen.
It
like,
does happen.
bribery on the field,
Which is completely unfair because some teams can be,
especially if it's a fair game.
yeah, some teams can be putting out like their hardest player, like they can be showing like their hardest players and giving it all they got, and the other team's not trying at all, and the team that's trying isn't winning, which I don't think is fair.
Yeah, I imagine it's boring watching this game, but it must be even more boring and frustrating for the coaches on the other side of the field.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's one thing they say goes in one ear and out the other, or maybe it's just the players are not that good in general and they can't get anything to work out for them.
I also feel like the Bulldogs are getting very like frustrated, and they aren't like paying attention as well as they could be. And like you said, I feel like it could be going in one ear and out the other because they don't care at this point.
Yeah, and like, however, the Falcons are definitely like staying focused, and I think they've played the same throughout the whole game, and I think that's a good thing. That was a small little boy.
I thought he got hurt for a second.
But
He's fine.
yeah, he's fine. But man, I did not expect that from him. Do you feel like in football, if you had to choose one, would you think being strong is more important, like being stout and firmly grounded as a football player is more beneficial, or having speed and being more functional and dynamic is more important?
It honestly just depends on what position you play, because like I know for a linebacker you have to like know how to hold your ground and like block, and then for like a quarterback you need to have strength so you can throw, and then for
A wide receiver, you
Yeah.
have to be fast.
yeah,
One is one. So.
And then for people like slot receivers, they may need both, but I feel like you said, it kind of plays into both.
yeah, it does, definitely.
Give me another shot. Try and give me
Again, not trying to be mean, but I feel like we could have gotten in more beneficial practice. We're scrimmaging ourselves and playing this game.
well, just give me somebody that looks like they're gonna get. Just give me somebody that looks like
Do you feel like refs get in the way sometimes? Because I feel like
actually.
they do.
I definitely feel like it. I feel like some refs take their job very seriously and do make an effort to make it better for the players and keep them safe and make it fair, get out of the way. But I definitely think for some refs, when they feel like the game's not important or they feel like the players, are not the best, I feel like they may not make that much of an effort to get out of the way. Or
like in high school football, it gets really, really intense, and I've witnessed refs get run over.
yeah. But the thing I love about refs, well, some refs, whenever, and that's it for the game. Well, this game was pretty predictable to me, and I feel like it was consistent throughout the whole game.
Folks, that'll do it for this third game. And once again, thank you all fans for visiting. We wish you a very
So this has been Lila Chivers,
And Izzy Basquette covering the FMS varsity football game.
yeah, and I think this is a good game that'll go down in FMS and motivate them for their future games.
I agree. The final score was 44-8.
Good game for the FMS Falcons.